In today's Leeds news, Ramazani praised work to be done on contracts, Rak Sakyi on Leeds' interest, international results, Spain to fast track Joseph and Cooper's future sorted. Morning folks, Jer here, Tuesday morning the 10th of September at The View with your Leeds United news. Hope you're all having a really good week so far. Not a lot going on. We're getting bits and pieces coming out around the stories of players that are off on international duty and one or two that aren't on international duty that might make interesting viewing by the weekend. We'll start off with this, and we'll start off with the largely Ramazani story. And as new Leeds United winger Ramazani has come in for some praise during the international break, but funnily enough, Ramazani is one of the few players that is not away on international duty and has had the opportunity while the players are away to stay at Thorpe Arch, settle into life at Leeds, and to get a chance to work one-on-one with manager Daniel Farke, which may end up being hugely beneficial and might see him playing more minutes once we come out of the international break than the 16 he made in his initial cameo. Farke has tried to keep expectations around the exciting winger to a modest level and talk him down while talking about the lack of experience in this division and needing to adapt and all that. But former manager Ruby at Almeria wasn't so keen to calm things down and has hyped the player up a little bit more. The current Almeria manager commented on the fact that he doesn't have a player like Ramazani in his squad now that he has left the club, and on the player Ruby has said the following about him. It's true that he's a player who can make mistakes in his decision making. We don't have players with the spark and electricity in the squad now he's gone. Leeds have lacked a bit of spark and a bit of excitement since Jorginho Rutter and Chris Somerville have left the club, and adding a player that could add a bit of electricity and a bit of a spark will be very interesting for the fans moving forward this season. Ramazani may have to wait a little longer to become an established player like Chris Somerville and Jorginho Rutter were for Leeds United, but from going off what his previous manager Almeria has said, it is definitely some excitement to look forward to for Leeds fans into the rest of this season. It's a player I'm really excited to see once he gets off the leash, finds the level, gets used to everything and can get going. I'm very excited to see what Larry Ramazani can bring to Leeds United. His former manager Ruby Almeria, a big fan of the player. Moving on to some players that are still at Leeds United for the time being anyway, and although the transfer window has closed, talks around players' futures does not stop. And speaking in his piece today in Leeds Live, Baron Cross has a very interesting piece around the future of two Leeds United players and the contract work that still needs to be done behind the scenes if Leeds are to tie everyone down moving forward. This season, Leeds saw the exits of Jamie Shackleton, Liam Cooper and Luke Ayling all on a free transfer, and while their book value might not be seen as overly important, their position within the dressing room was very significant for Leeds. Daniel Farke talked about the lack of leadership in the dressing room now that those players have gone. Leeds have two players currently that will be seeing their contracts wind down towards the end of the season this year, with Junior Firpo and Sam Byram, with both players in the final year of their contract negotiations may have started or may not have started around their futures. But it should be said that although Sam Byram can go year to year and seems to be relatively happy with the 1 year contracts given the amount of injuries he's had over his career and the direction his career has gone towards the end of his career, Junior Firpo is very much coming into his prime years. In the piece, it is pointed out by Baron Cross that at 28 years of age, Junior Firpo is very much coming in to his prime years, and to lose the player on a free transfer might be unnecessary from Leeds' perspective. Firpo can negotiate a pre-contract agreement to leave Leeds United in January should there be interest from the player. There has been long-standing interest from Real Betis in bringing the player back to his childhood club, and that might happen. Firpo has gone from being a player that most Leeds fans wouldn't have been upset about seeing leaving to being probably one of the best fullbacks in the division currently. The question will remain, at 28, do Leeds see a potential future in Junior Firpo? And if Leeds are looking ahead to a Premier League team next season, do Leeds view the possibility of offering him a new deal as a gamble versus Leeds United being in the Premier League next season and letting the player ride off into the sunset after a successful 2-year end of his contract? And that remains to be seen. That will be the question that will come up between now and January. Do Leeds see value in Junior Firpo at a higher level beyond this season? And if so, then maybe we will see Leeds United offering him a contract. There is also the point as well of saying, does Firpo want to spend the peak years of his career back in Spain? And he might very well want to do that. And having ran the full length of his contract at Leeds, he'd be deserved to have at least a say in that situation. So we'll see what happens as that coming into January. I'm sure lots of noise once we get closer to that and a deal hasn't been announced. We'll be hearing an awful lot more rumours about clubs in Spain interested in a free transfer for Junior Firpo. A player that didn't come into Leeds United during the summer, but was linked heavily with a move to the club, was Jesram Rak Sakyi. Leeds, however, decided not to make an official approach for the player and instead went off in a different direction. Rak Sakyi has now spoken about why he chose Sheffield United over Leeds and what Leeds' involvement in the deal was. Leeds never made an official approach for the player, but it does appear now that there was very much conversations had between Leeds and the player's representatives before the player chose a move to Sheffield United. On the Leeds' interest and his decision to sign for Sheffield United, Rak Sakyi said the following: "My agent made me aware of the interest from them. I knew it was a big club, but the manager and I spoke, and I was really impressed with what he said and the plans that he had for me. So that made my decision to come here." The 21-year-old will be seen as a very strong signing for any team at this level, and it remains to be seen whether Leeds have made the right decision going off for Solomon and Ramazani instead of a Rak Sakyi bid, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one over the next couple of months. Moving into a quick international round wrap up before we get to the last two stories of the day, and a massive thanks to LUFC Data for the information that was supplied on Twitter. I've used that for these pieces, so you can thank him for that. Joe Rodon played 90 minutes in Wales' 2-1 win over Montenegro. He did 91% pass accuracy and a very decent performance by Rodon in this game. Ethan Ampadu, same match, also played 90 minutes, had an 84% accuracy, a lot more forward passes from him than we've seen for Leeds recently, and played very well in that game as well. Caradalo made his Welsh debut, 90 minutes, 4 saves in total, but a very, very good double save at one point to make sure Wales saw out the game. Manar Solomon, 90 minutes for Israel in their 2-1 defeat at the hands of Italy, played 90 minutes, had a 90% pass and accuracy and created one chance. Ilya Groove, 90 minutes against Northern Ireland for Bulgaria, 87% passing accuracy and 7 passes into the final third, something he doesn't get enough credit for, his forward passes. I've been really happy with him so far, Groove, this year. He's doing a fine job in the middle of the park. We need a bit more in there, but he's doing really well for me. But we'll move on. We'll talk about the current hot player of the season, and that is Mateo Joseph. And his season continues to go from strength to strength. And Mateo Joseph's strong start to the season may finish at the end of the season with the player being a full Spanish international, with now talks coming out of Spain that Joseph is set to be fast-tracked into the Spanish senior men's national side. Spain coach Luis de la Fuente has said that he is planning to fast-track the player into the Spanish senior men's national side, but on top of that, sees the player as spearheading their attack as they head into the 2026 World Cup. By the time that World Cup rolls around, most Leeds fans will be hoping that we are very much a Premier League club, and Mateo Joseph is very much our number 9 in the Premier League, scoring goals on a regular basis. All this information has come from Team Talk today as well, and at this stage it does look like Mateo Joseph's career is heading in one direction, and long may that continue. Joseph joined Leeds for a fairly modest 760,000 from Espanyol back in January 2022, and in the space of 4 years may have gone from a potential prospect to a full Spanish international and hopefully a Premier League player with Leeds United. And we'll have to keep our fingers and toes crossed on that one and hope that the promise turns out to be ability on the park as well. And then finally today, to wrap up, Liam Cooper's future appears to have been finally resolved. There was still some rumblings rolling around last week around what's the situation with Cooper. Where is he going? Is he going anywhere? Failed moves to Blackburn, Derby, Sheffield United and Hull City all put question marks over where Liam's future would lie. The window's closed, but he can move outside of a window being a free agent, and he has taken his time to get the deal that he wants, and he may finally have received the deal that he wants. A lot of conversation around why he wasn't getting deals at clubs was rumoured to be related to the length of the contract, but it appears now, according to Leeds Live, that he may have gotten that. They say that Cooper is set to fly in to CSKA Sofia today to complete what will be a 2-year contract at the club. expect an announcement from Leeds United around Liam Cooper and a proper goodbye from the club once Cooper has signed on the dotted line for CSKA Sofia. We wish Coops nothing but success in the last couple of years of his career, and hope that we see him back at Leeds in some sort of coaching or ambassadorial role in the future. Folks, that will be it for me today. You can check out yesterday's news down below. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to as well, as we head towards 52,000 subscribers. And I'll be back tomorrow morning for more Leeds news. We'll start getting ready for the return to real football at the weekend, with the matchday preview coming up on Thursday night and on Friday night, and the podcast at Thursday night. So you can check them out as and when they go live. Folks, that'll be it for me. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.